Hello, good afternoon everyone. Thank you for coming to join me. I'm just going to be making some ephemera for future journals, and I thought I would just put my camera on so you can see what I'm doing. If you watched my last video, I used some envelopes and they were just normal size envelopes. I don't think I've got one handy actually. Just the ordinary size envelopes, the long narrow ones, and I just cut round them so to have the window there. And I've just made a couple of little pockets that I decorated, which I'm really pleased with. And then I cut one, just a taller one, to use as a pocket, and it's not decorated on the back, so that will go on a journal page to be a tuck spot like that. So I would glue it either 3 sides, 1, 2, 3, or just 2 sides, and it would be a pocket. So it's sealed, so it's just a decorated pocket. And then these would go on the side of a page or as a belly band or a pocket. So lots of different options that you can have with them, but I was pleased with how they turned out. So there's a couple of pockets that I've got ready for future journals. I don't know when this video is coming out because I'm away a lot of June and July, so I'm trying to do a few in advance. So I watched Rachel, Roxy's Creations, and she was making different flip pages, and I had a go at one and I was pleased how it turned out. So she used a book page and it would go into the middle of your signature here. So it would be a double page, so sewn in the signature there. So then you'd have other papers like this and you'd sew into the signature. And though when you turn it over, that flips open and there's a little pocket just there. So I quite liked that. So I might want to do a couple more of those. And I've also got these that are Rachel's papers or book pages, and I printed them wrong. I thought I was double printing it, but I picked something that was smaller. So I'm going to use those as pockets. So it's double-sided. So my idea was use it as a journal page, but obviously I didn't think about they were going to be different sizes. So I'm going to use these as flips, and I might have a go at those first. So let me put that over out the way. I've got so many bits and pieces out at the moment. Not quite sure what I wanted to do, I think. So I've printed a few of Rachel's papers out. Some of them I've printed double-sided, some I haven't. Just thinking, what I'm thinking is I could maybe use something like this. This is from Rachel's Renaissance kits. I'm kind of thinking I could use that as a flip and you'd have that underneath it. I know it's printed on the back. Does that matter? Well, it doesn't really. I mean, it could be a double flip, couldn't it? Because then that could flip that way and then that could flip that way. Why don't I try that? I might try that. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, because if it doesn't work out, I can print it again, can't I? It's not the end of the world. Although sometimes it feels like it is, doesn't it, when you're trying to make things. So I want this. I do it a bit less than, so that's 4.5 inches. Yeah, pages are usually wider than that, aren't they? So let's start with that. Let's do it and then see where we get to. This is just normal copy paper, so it's not really strong, but it's not weak. You know, it will hold up to being a flip, I'm sure. I've done it before, so I know it will. So that would be a flip on a page, and I know that's going to fit because for some reason my laptop has updated itself to Windows 11 and now it just wants to print borderless. Hey ho, which is fine. That needs to go that way because that's the front of it. I don't want that to be the front, so I want that to be on there, so that will flip that way, and then that might flip that way. Okay, so I need to attach that on there, don't I? I am going to trim round because obviously it doesn't exactly match. It isn't much out, but this is stronger paper, so I'm not going to reinforce that. And as I'm doing it, I'm just thinking what I can use as a hinge. I like that. Has anybody seen my tear ruler? Yep, here it is. I think I'm going to tear that along there. Rachel's end papers, I think that's called. And I'm going to tear that along there. Trying to think on my feet here, folks, so if I'm bumbling along, just bumble along with me. So that would, not that one, Carol, this one, I think I'm going to put that on there. I need to close this first, don't I? So I'm going to close this up because it's going to be a pocket. So how are you all doing? As I said, we're away quite a lot in June and July. We're making the most of having the camper van. We're not going abroad this year. We did think about it, but I think with restrictions and things, I couldn't get my head around what we might need to have to go. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to fold it in half. Do I look as if I know what I'm doing, folks? Sorry, am I too out of frame? I hadn't really thought about this before I put the camera on, you see. I'm going to put that on there. Like that. So I want that to be shorter than that. You never know, I might need that. So I've got a little bag where I put my little bits in, because you never know when they're going to come in useful. So I'm going to put that on there. I think I want it to be just that little bit narrower. This is where it'll go wrong. No, it hasn't. That wasn't bad tearing. Okay, I'm going to glue that on. I'm just putting some glue, not that glue, down that edge. And then that is going to go on there, like so. A little bit higher at the top. Sorry, can you see, folks? I've just glued half the hinge on there, like that. So that's the pocket there. You know what I should have done? I should have put some paper in there first, shouldn't I? Okay, not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. We can cope with that, can't we? That can go in there. Yep. There's always around things, I think, when you're dealing with paper. And if it doesn't work, well, we can reprint it and try again, can't we? That's the way I try and think about it. I'm sliding that in. Like that. Hoping it's not going to close my envelope up. Trim off that extra. So that's better. It's got a little bit of book page in there. Not perfect, I know, but it's fine. It just gives it that little bit when you see inside it. I just didn't want to see what was inside it, if you see what I mean. I think sometimes the white paper can be a little bit glaring, but it would have been easier if I'd thought about it before I sealed the envelope up. So never mind. Oh gosh, my fingers are sticky. It won't slide. There we go. Slide that in. That's fine. I don't think that it will stick together. There we go. Right, so as I was saying, I've now just edged those bits just so that you don't, and I will put a little notch in there, and I know I shouldn't do this whilst the paper's wet. I know I'll regret it, but oh no, it did it. So just a little notch just to show that. Okay, so we've put that on there, so it's a hinge. Okay, and what I want to do is attach it onto there, like so. I don't think I want it all the way to the bottom. That's fine. And it adds a bit of interest on this side as well, look. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there. And again, for this, I'm using my glue stick. I've just noticed that there's a little bit of white at the bottom there. I'm just going to cut that little edge off. I'm not doing very well, am I? My observation's not very good today. Okay, so that's going on there like that. That's going over there like that. That's going on there like that. And that will sticky glue, sticky fingers, sticky. That will go on there like that. It is a little bit sticky, but that's fine. It'll dry. It will dry, so I'm going to leave it open to dry. I can cut that little bit off there, look. That was excess to requirements, wasn't it? That's okay. So then we've got a pocket that sits there, and that flips open. So we've got a tall pocket just there, look. That's going to flip out, and then I could do that so that it flips onto another page. So I'm going to leave that like that because I don't know what journal it's going to go in, but it could either go on a page and be a tuck spot behind. So so if this was a journaling page, for example, it could sit on there and it could be a tuck spot behind, in which case I would need to strengthen that. Flips out, so you don't know you've got that lady behind there. But I think what I'm going to do is put a hinge on it there so that it will flip like that. But as I say, once I know what journal it's going into, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so that's that one. So I'm going to do the same with this one, I think. So I'm going to cut that off there so it's just a bit level. I'm thinking on my feet now, folks. I am going to just put some paper in here just to cover that up and trim it off, just so that you can't see the boo-boob of my photocopying. It wasn't much of a boo-boob, I just thought they were the same size pages when I copied them, and obviously they weren't, which just meant that I couldn't do what I wanted to with it, but that's okay. Back to the drawing board on that one. I suppose the idea would be to print both of them separately so that you knew what size they were going to be before you actually committed yourself. That would be thinking on your feet, Carol, wouldn't it? Okay, so that's going to seal up. So I'm going to cut those extra bits off. Gluey paper. Gluey paper everywhere. Oh gosh, very gluey paper everywhere. And I don't want that to stick. I'm going to glue these together. Close it up so it's a pocket again. And again, they're not quite level, and they won't be because they are really vintage antique papers of Rachel's that she's scanned and copied, so they're not going to be level because a lot of the paper back then was handmade papers, so you're not going to get a level book, are you? There we go, that's fine. All glued. And so this one's probably going to go the same side, isn't it? Could have that side as the right side, but I think it's that one. So I'm going to cut this. And again, I think 4.5 inches was quite a good size. I'm going to do that a little bit less, only because I want to use that piece of paper there. So hang on to that. And just trim this. So my idea is that I get a few bits and pieces of ephemera made so that I can make a journal using Rachel's beautiful papers. And I've got plenty of ephemera just to say I'll have that, that and that going in it. And it makes it a quick journal then, doesn't it? That's not bad. So that's going to go on there. So obviously this will go into a different journal. But I'm going to go back to this paper because it has got different patterns on it, look. And I've lost my tear ruler again. Oh, it's right in front of my nose, look. Tear that. That looks pretty, doesn't it? I think I do want that on there. It does leave quite a lot on the other side though, doesn't it? But then it makes it quite a nice pattern, doesn't it? But I think I will just tear those bits off there. Just make it a little bit smaller. It's going on here, isn't it? Fold that, and then that's going to go there like that. I like that. Tear that off there, and I'll probably snip that bit off there. Gets hard to tear paper when it's only a little bit sometimes, doesn't it? So put some glue just on that corner edge. And glue that on. Like so. Gosh, we're up to nearly 20 minutes already, folks. And then that is going to go on there, like so. So that will be a flip there, and I like that as well. And of course you can decorate this. I mean, Rachel's got beautiful birds and things that you could put on, so that's, you know, once you know what journal you're putting it into, you can decorate them further, can't you? But I think it's nice to have the basic pocket all ready and good to go. I want that a bit lower. I don't want it quite as high as that. The struggle's real, folks. There we go. Oh, and I haven't got that bit quite in. Oh, I am being a nuisance today. Right, that's better. There, perfect. Squidge it down, and again that just needs a little bit cutting off the bottom there. I didn't put a snip in there to remind myself that's the pocket, did I? That'll do. There. So as I say, you can decorate that. Got some of Rachel's birds here. See, that looks pretty on there, doesn't it? So if we put that on there, might want a little bit of a flower. I might well do. I'm going to put that on there. So making flips to go on the edge of pages, you know, it's the world's your oyster, isn't it? There's so many options that you can do. I didn't want to cover all this writing up, obviously. But that can then go on there. Sorry, can you see? Really liking that. Just wondering if I've got a label that might look all right. It says pharmacists. Well, why not? I don't always read these labels when I use them, you know. Does anybody else not do that? I like that. That one's going on. So the label can go there. And then my bird goes on top of it. And we'll put him literally on top of it. There. Oops. I really like that. Happy with that. Oops, wrong lid. Oh gosh, stuck to my finger. So again, that's going to be a flip that comes out, and that will probably end up being a flip that way as well. And that would strengthen that bit as well then. You know, this bit that's going to flip that way is nice and strong because you've got that bit down it. So that's two. Where did I put the other one? I put it there to dry, didn't I? We could try and put something on there as well, couldn't we? I don't want to use that. So I think I will use the stripy paper off this one. Could put a pocket on here on the inside actually, couldn't you? See, I'm not wanting to cover that one up as much because it's got more on it. But maybe it could have something on the inside here. just kind of get rid of that little white bit. It's still white, but it's not as white. Do I want a pocket of some description on that one? Maybe some flowers on the front. Oh, purple and red doesn't go, does it? Nope. Nope, nope. Not in my mind anyway, maybe it does in yours. Although I quite like that. Do you know, I quite like that, but it's covering that E up, isn't it? But I do like that. What do we think? I think it's because I can see it picks out the blue here. Oh, that's better, look. Oh, I nearly got tempted to cover that up then. That's going to go on there. Like that. And I have got some little butterflies. I wonder if we could have... See, I like that. That's it. That's going on. That's it. Quick decision. There we go. How quick was that decision? So we've got 2 flips. I hope you like these. So that flips that way. So does that one, but you've got the beautiful ladies behind, and that I will put an edge on there, and that will flip that way as well, and that will flip that way as well once it gets put into a journal. So there's those 2. Okay, put them over there to dry. I'd like to have another go at doing one of these. Let me just think about it a moment. Actually, I didn't think about it for too long. I don't think you even missed me, did you? So I'm going to have a go at making another one of these. Have I got that the right way? Yes. So I'm going to use this lady. And again, I think this is from Rachel's Renaissance. So let me just trim these edges off as quickly as I can and as straight as I can, and we'll have a go at that. I think sometimes it's good to make more than one thing. Oh, what I meant to say was to make one thing more than once, so that you kind of get to remember. And then one day I will make myself a memory book. I was just having a quick think. This that I saved might actually go in one of those pockets as a tag in there. So I'm going to slip it in there. Just remind myself I wanted it to be a tag. Right, back to this. Okay, so we've got that like that. I need a book page. Book page, book page, book page. I have some book pages. Oh, I've got one of Rachel's really old rag type papers. I wonder if I can get my head around being able to use one of these. So that one was at the front. I want it this time to be at the back. So I want this to be at the front. I don't think it's going to be able to, because I want that lady to be the flip. Do you know, I thought for a minute that I knew what I was going to be doing. Let me think a minute. I don't know if you can hear it, folks. There's an awful lot of thinking going on this end. If you hear a noise, I think it's my brain in action. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that there. Quick decision. That's not a quick decision. And that that won't quite fit, but that's going to be a flip out of that one. It's going to be the journal card. So this, I am going to fold that over like that. How big is this anyway? 6 inches, so that's going to be way too big. By 9, so that is going to be way too big. So I'm going to fold it over even more, like that. Probably will still be too big, but we'll see when it goes in a journal. So that's going to go like that. And then I need something on here that's going to be the pocket. What have we got? We've got lots of Rachel's papers. What's this one? It's kind of maroony, isn't it? I'm going to use this one. I'm really going for the colours today, aren't I, folks? I'm going to use this, and this is going to be the pocket. Okay. Yes, it is. I don't seem to get many things done with you, do I? Too much time spent thinking, I think. Right, let's get that out of the way. Okay, so the idea is that this is going to be a pocket on here. I know that's full size. No, that should be all right because my journals are all going to be that size, aren't they? So that's fine. That is fine. Would I want to tuck that up and have that as a... So it could be a bit smaller, couldn't it? How big would it be for a pocket? Okay, so that could be a pocket there. If I leave that on, it's going to have that there. Let's just cut that edge off because I don't want that blue just there. Okay. Sorry folks if I'm confusing you with what I want to do, but what I'm thinking is that's going to be my hinge in there. So that is where you sew it into your signature. So this will be a smaller pocket page, but that's fine because we don't want all our pages to be the same size, do we? And it could be a tuck spot here, and that's fine because I can strengthen that with some bits of paper. And in fact, I think I'm going to stick that on there because it was in front of me and I like the stripes, so why not? And I think what I might try and do is maybe fold it over just to strengthen that. Like that. If it didn't stick to my finger. So that is going to go on there. Let's just strengthen that pocket there. This is going to go on there. That's going to go there. And she's going to fold over there. Can you see what I'm doing? That's my plan. Yeah, that's my plan. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the top of that pocket. Right, glue. I think sometimes you have to I have to talk myself through it. I don't mean I hate using Rachel's papers, but I hate using Rachel's papers. I'm so worried that I'm going to do something and ruin it that I kind of try not to use them. Sticky, sticky. Okay, oops, stuck to her. And then that's going to go on there, but I want it not quite as far back, so I'm going to refold that just so that that blue line isn't showing on this side. So it will be like that. Yep. Yep, that's what I want. Okay, so glue on this side, which it very almost is already. There we go. My card. That is very sticky. So that's going to be a page. It's going to get stitched in there. Just make sure that's stuck really nicely. There's lots of aeroplanes going over today. I don't know if you can hear it, folks. I'm expecting any moment that my dog's going to come up being all stressed because she has a phobia of when she hears the planes. She thinks it's thunder and she's petrified of thunder. So if the aeroplanes go over sometimes and she hears it, she just thinks it's thunder coming at her. So that's going to be a pocket there. I'm not going to glue that because I think I might need to either fold this page or do something with it because it's too wide to fit in a journal that I'm going to do. So this, please excuse me, is going to stick on there like that. I like that I can see that. I don't think I want it. Do I want it flush? I probably do, don't I? I probably do. So that's going to go in there like that. So I'm going to put glue on here. I'll put glue down that bit there. And then we'll see if it's worked, won't we? That's going to get glued. And that's going to get glued. That's going to fold over. Like that. I don't want to risk cutting that because that's the pocket, isn't it? So that little bit I'm going to cut off carefully, just to make those the same size. I think if I could get my head round these, I'd be a lot quicker. Am I going to cut the lady's head off? No, I think we're okay. There we are. I've done it. I've made the decision. It's done. Well, I suppose I could do it that way as well. I mean, you could do it either way, couldn't you? And then it would have a pocket on the back. I might do it that way, actually. And this paper, you know, it doesn't lay flat because it's so old, it's all wrinkly, but it will be fine when it's in a journal. So that lady, this is the bit, the crease there, that's going to go into the journal. And it might need, will it need strengthening? I don't think it will. But I want to fold her so that she's like that. So it's going to be like that, or it's going to be like that, and stitched into the journal. So your journal page will be there. You'll have that one. It will fold over. Oh, I hope I've been on screen, folks. Like that, like that. I might put something down there, undecided, and then that will flip out and there'll be a little tuck spot in there. I'll do a little notch in this bit. About there. There we go. There. So yeah, I'm happy with that one as well. So I've got 2 of those. And then this one goes that way, that way, that way. It's got a pocket there as well. So I've got 2 of those, and I've done 2 of these flips. So that's going to go in there as a journal tag, and then it's going to flip on a page there. And then this one flips that way, and it's going to have a journal tag. So I hope that made sense. That's 4 things I've made in, how long have I been with you? About 42 minutes. So I do hope that you're finding this a little bit useful. And again, I really do appreciate you joining me. So just take care, everybody. Bye.